Hi guys, so it's Hanif from Eclipse All Sports, and I'm just wanting to bring you the first episode of the How To series. So this is a new series that we're going to do each week, maybe 1 or 2 episodes per week. So each of the videos will briefly show you how to do certain things, and hopefully you'll get some good results as well. So today we're going to be showing you how to oil a cricket bat. Firstly, we'll tell you why you oil a cricket bat. So before knocking in, you oil the bat as it softens up the wood fibres and it prevents any cracking whilst you knock the bat in. If you've got a large piece of heartwood, then maybe an extra coat of oil on the heartwood just to soften it up a little bit more, because the heartwood sometimes can be a little bit more brittle than the sapwood and can crack up a little bit more easily. So we will go into the knocking in process in one of the future episodes, so we won't go into that too much. But firstly, we'll go on to the oiling process. So what I recommend is 2 light coats of oil on the face. And a light coat is just enough to cover the surface of the face, and then you'll leave that overnight to dry. So it's entirely up to you how you position the bat after you've oiled it, because what you're going to do is you're just going to put a light coat of oil in, and any excess we're just going to wipe off. So you shouldn't have any runs. So if you want to put it upright, then you shouldn't have any runs, because there should be no excess oil. Majority of that oil should be soaked into the surface once it's been applied. And then the next step would be to leave it overnight and then apply another light coat of oil and then leave another 24 hours, and then you can start your knocking in process. So we'll just show you how much we apply, and then we can take a closer look at how much oil you should have on the face of the bat for the first coat. So we'll apply the first coat of oil and just show you what it should look like and how much you should have on the surface. So it's best to go with 2 light coats, as this will soak in nicely and it'll be less messy and you won't get any drips. And then obviously you can add that second coat of oil after this one has soaked in 24 hours later. So we'll get on to how much oil you should put on the surface, and then we'll go from there. So the oil that we're going to be using is raw linseed oil. So if you're not sure what oil you should be using, as long as it says raw linseed oil, it's absolutely fine to use on your cricket bat. You'll probably find it in a lot of smaller bottles for cricket bats, as you're not going to need a massive amount of oil. So this is in a larger bottle, as it's used for larger applications, not just cricket bats, but this is exactly the same thing you would get in those smaller tubs for your cricket bats. I just purchased it in this slightly larger bottle, as I do a lot of oiling on cricket bats before knocking in. So yeah, that's why I've got a 1 litre bottle rather than those little bottles that you get for your bats. But you should be absolutely fine with a small bottle, as you're not going to need a massive amount of oil to get your bat match ready. So I'll just show you how much oil you're going to actually use. So what I do is I will just tip a little bit of oil in this cap. So there's probably more than enough oil in the cap, but what you'll do is I'll lift the bat up and I'll just show you how I'm going to apply this oil to the face of the bat. So I'm just going to put my finger into the oil and I'm just going to start to spread it. Obviously, if I wasn't on camera, I'd be able to do this a lot easier, but as I've got to show you guys on the camera, it's a little bit awkward, but I'll try and show you as best as possible. So I'm just dipping my finger into the oil, because if you use a rag or a cloth, what you'll find is the rag or the cloth will soak up all the oil, and then you won't get the oil on the surface. This way you can feel how much is on the surface, and you can get a nice even layer onto the surface of the bat, and you've got a nice even covering then. So once you've done the whole surface, you should have a nice shiny appearance onto the surface of the bat, and you know you've got a good coat of oil there. But it's not too excessive, because you don't want it running down the face of the bat. You don't want it running off the edges. You just want a nice thin even coat of oil all the way across the face, and you can see there, that's a nice coat of oil there. So we've got a rag. You don't want a big thick cloth, just a thin sheet like this one, like a kitchen towel, and just give it a gentle wipe. So you're just taking any excess oil from the surface of the bat and you're just spreading it around, and there you go, you've got a lovely even covering. So that is your first coat of oil. So you can leave that to rest for 24 hours, and then you can come back and repeat that process again and put another thin layer of oil on. The next thing is, if you're wanting to oil the edges, you can just dip the rag that you've got here, because you don't need a great deal on the edges. Just dip the rag into the cap and you can just work the oil into the edge of the bat, and you can just get a nice even covering on the edge, avoiding the stickers. You don't want to go over the top of the stickers, because then you'll get an oily residue on top of the stickers. So try and go around the stickers, and then you can do the back of the bat as well, and you get a nice light coating all over the back of the bat. But try not to get underneath the stickers, as it may affect the glue around the stickers and start lifting the stickers up. But yeah, a nice even covering on the back and the edges on all the exposed areas, and that'll help seal the moisture into the bat. So what I mean by sealing the moisture in, linseed oil doesn't add any moisture to your bat. The linseed oil will only soak into the first millimetre or so of the willow, but what it does, it locks in the moisture in the bat and it prevents your bat from drying out. So it's very important to oil your bat, or you can use a bat wax that's also got linseed oil in it as well. So it's very useful, and it's very important to do things like that, because otherwise your bat will dry out. And what happens when the willow dries out is your bat will start to crack up and the wood will become very brittle. So that's why oiling your cricket bat or waxing your cricket bat is very important to seal the moisture in. So another reason for oiling or waxing your bat is to prevent any moisture being absorbed into the willow. So if you seal the wood, then no moisture can get out and no moisture can get in. So it's not going to gain weight, and it's not going to dry out and lose weight and become brittle. So those are the main reasons for oiling or waxing your cricket bat. So the wax you can apply to the edges and the back, and you don't have to leave too long. You can just buff it straight up and you'll get a nice shiny finish. But if you want the linseed oil to soak into the bat, then you can leave the wax on for a little bit longer. So I will do a separate episode on how to wax your bat and the different properties and what makes up bat wax, and then you can have a look at that and how to apply it. So hopefully that'll give you an insight into that as well. But linseed oil, very important for cricket bats. Helps prevent your bat from drying out. Very important during the knocking in process, as it softens up the fibres on the face and prevents any cracking, and it prevents your bat from absorbing any moisture. But what oiling doesn't do, it doesn't add moisture to your cricket bat. So if you keep oiling your bat thinking, my bat's very dry, I need to oil it and that'll add moisture, that's not going to happen. Once the moisture has dried out of your bat and your bat's become dry and brittle, there's not a great deal you can do about it, unfortunately. You can't really add moisture back to the bat. Maybe you can add moisture to the surface, but that's probably not going to prevent the bat from cracking and splitting. So over oiling a cricket bat can just be as bad as not oiling the bat at all, because if you add too much oil, it can cause the wood to start rotting. And what you'll find is, if you've over oiled your bat, is the wood will become very spongy. And the reason for that is you're taking away the elasticity of the willow fibres, and they're becoming very spongy, and the rebound you're going to lose in the bat as well. So if that happens, that's not the end of the world, because the oil doesn't penetrate all the way through the willow. The oil will only penetrate through the first millimetre or 2 millimetres of the surface. So if you've over oiled your bat and you've lost all the rebound and response because you've over oiled it, you can simply send it into a bat repairer, and he'll be able to sand the bat down and refurb the bat and take that excess oil off the surface, and then what you'll find is you'll get that response back from the blade. So yeah, those are the things why you oil the bats, and also a few reasons of over oiling, what can happen. So I hope you found this video useful, guys. If you have, please leave us a comment and give us a thumbs up. If you would like any more information, or you think there's any other videos you'd like us to cover, then please let us know. So this video, we've basically covered why you oil a cricket bat, the benefits of oiling a cricket bat, and why you shouldn't over oil a cricket bat, and the effects that over oiling can have. So I hope you found it useful, and if there's any information you feel we've missed out, then please again just leave us a comment and we'll try and cover that in another video. So thanks again, guys. Until next time, I'll speak to you all soon. Bye bye.